What is resilience? Why is it important? And why, when it comes to mental health, is resilience our secret weapon? Hi guys, I'm Anne-Marie, I'm with Mindjoy, and today I want to talk to you about resilience. After 14 years in the mental health field, I know that strategies and coping mechanisms for mental health issues are important. That's why I teach them, and that's a big part of what Mindjoy is all about. However, I believe there's something even more important that we all need to focus on. If you think of coping strategies as the frame of a house, resilience would be the foundation, and a house built on resilience is much more likely to weather the storm. For years, the mental health field ignored resilience, and in the last decade, we've done a lot of research and realized how much it can help people. The World Health Organization has now made resilience a key pillar for our health for the 2020 plan. There's been research of identical twins who have the same DNA, the same biology, the same family of origin, the same environment, generally the same life circumstances, and one can develop a mental health issue while the other is thriving. Why is that? They believe resilience is a key factor. For some reason, we're all born with different amounts of it, and then because of life, that can damage our level of resilience or increase it. But no matter the deck of cards you were dealt, we can all improve our resilience. So what is resilience? If I were to stretch a rubber band, resilience is the ability of that rubber band to snap back to its original shape. When it comes to psychology, resilience is our ability to bounce back after adversity, our ability to rebound after a trial, and our ability to be stronger and reinforced after difficulty. That's why it's our secret weapon and our hidden superpower. And if you think about it, most superheroes have been through adversity. It's part of their story, it's part of their narrative. Life happens, and we all have a stress threshold. And if crises and things that are out of our control breach that threshold, we might develop a mental health issue. However, resilience helps us increase our stress threshold, making us more protected against mental health issues. So what can we do today to start improving our resilience? The number one way that you can improve your resilience, according to the American Psychological Association, is to make meaningful connections with healthy people. We all need connections. Depression, anxiety, and other mental health issues often cause people to isolate because of stigma, because they don't feel good, and because it's difficult to interact with others. However, this is counterproductive and it actually deteriorates their resilience and their mental well-being. So find ways to have meaningful connection with others, find healthy community, and get involved. Another way to be more resilient is to emotionally regulate. Someone with road rage who takes out their anger on the cars around them is an example of somebody who's not very resilient, because it's actually putting their safety at jeopardy. Now, this doesn't mean dismiss your emotions or resist them, because that actually can make it worse. Rather, resilient people embrace their emotions, allow themselves to process them so that they can then move forward. So if you're writing an email and you're angry, don't press send. One of my favorite quotes is, "Let your emotions subside and then decide," and that will help you regulate your emotions. Emotions aren't good or bad, they just are, so let's regulate them. Avoid seeing obstacles as something you can't overcome. If we see an obstacle ahead of us and we say, "There's no way I can get over this," we're actually less likely to. However, if we look at it as something we can overcome, we are more likely to. So keep hope and avoid seeing crises as something you cannot overcome. Resilient people overcome. Change your mindset. I know, easier said than done, Anne-Marie. If I could just flip the switch, I would do it by now. I know, I get it. I know that a lot of you really struggle. I've really struggled. Remember I said that if we see an obstacle as something we can't overcome it? If we see our mindset as something we have power to change, we are actually more likely to change it. So I encourage you today, try to see your mindset as something you actually have power over to change. And how do you change it? One way is to reframe. I'll give you an example. Change is coming down the pipe at work. There are two ways to look at that change. A resilient person would say, "Wow, this is going to be rough, but I think there's going to be some really great opportunities with this change. Maybe I can express my creativity in new ways. Maybe I could offer some solutions for my boss and maybe get a promotion." That's one way to handle the change. The other way, a less resilient person with a more negative mindset would say, "Oh, same old, here we go again." And they would resist the change. They would resist being part of the solution. By reframing and choosing to look for opportunity, you're shifting your mindset. So shift your mindset today, believe you can, and start reframing. Can you tell I've been through those situations at work before? Practice self-care. I'm going to talk about it in every video. I'm going to preach it from the rooftops because it's important. We all need to do self-care. Take time to take care of you. Eating healthy, staying hydrated, exercise, rest, and fun. Make time for fun. Deep breathing. A lot of us breathe from our chest, but if we breathe from our belly the way we're supposed to, we're going to take deeper breaths, we're going to relieve the stress in our body, and we're going to actually be more resilient. So take time to deep breathe. Look for good news. It's similar to changing your mindset, like I said earlier. We all have a lens in which we see the world, even if you don't have an actual prescription like I do. And if we have a negative mindset, we tend to look for bad news. It reinforces our story and it reinforces our view of the world. We look to find that confirmation. So if you know that you're someone who tends to look for bad news, start looking for good news. Over time, you're going to reinforce a good news story in your brain and you're going to change your glasses. Accept change as part of life. I think we know now more than ever that things happen outside of our control and the only constant in life is change. But if we resist change, if we fight against it, we're going to be less resilient, rather than being adaptable and flexible and choosing to look for opportunity. I actually have a whole video dedicated to how to cope with change because it's such an important concept. Do we have a victim mentality? Do we have a survivor mentality? Or do we have a navigator mentality? Let's navigate change well. Have goals and move towards them. People who are resilient have something ahead of them. They have vision. They have something they're working towards to make themselves better, to make their situation better. So find goals that you can achieve today and start working towards them. And finally, help someone else. We all go through adversity, and if we let it become our entire story, we can stay very insulated in our own world. But if we allow our adversity to become part of our story, rather than the whole thing, we can channel it and help others, so that we can be part of their story of recovery. I want to give you a call to action today, to start trying some of the things that I have mentioned in this video, to start building your resilience. If you have poor mental health, these things can help you get better. And if you have good mental health, these things can help protect you from getting worse. Ultimately, my hope is that regardless of the deck of cards that you were dealt at the beginning of life, today can be a new day and you can start creating positive change and build your resilience. It's your secret weapon. I hope this is helpful. I believe you deserve peace, happiness, and a life full of joy. Please like and subscribe and share to anyone you think this could help. Bye guys, and I'll see you next time.